Hey everyone, I'm Matt.
Hi, I'm Desiree.
And we're bringing you this week's Rising Tide West Coast Swing Guide.
This week on the guide, we are on our final move in our Behind the Back Whip series. So as you know, we build from easiest to hardest move yet. This is going to be a Behind the Back Whip with a spring, a duck, and a telemark added. So we'll first demo it and then we'll break it down lead follow. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, 9, and 10, 11, and 12, 13, and 14. Breaking this down for our leaders, I'm going to kind of go through the different chunks of this pattern because this is a very complicated move, but it's actually a series of somewhat simpler pieces. So we're going to break down each of those triple step chunks so that you know what you're aiming to do leaders on each chunk. So here 1 through 6 is the same as our basic behind the back whip with a spring that we broke down a couple weeks ago. From here we have that 6 and shift like we talked about before. We're going into a head duck where we're turning our followers as we triple step. From here we ride the momentum into that telemark for 9 and 10, prepping our followers for the inside turn, making sure we get all the way to the other side and out of the slot leaders. Then we turn our followers for 11 and 12, and we anchor it out for 13 and 14. Now talking about how to actually lead some of those pieces. Again, getting to count 6, same as before, 3 and 4, 5, 6. You'll notice this hand is already on Desiree's shoulder blade. It's ready to lead that head duck. Once I've led the weight shift here on 6 and, I'm lifting with my elbow, and you can see my right hand is kind of on the back of Desiree's armpit. I'm not aiming to tickle her, but I want to give that really clear head duck lead. From there, I kind of turn it almost like I'm churning like a big pot of stew for 7 and 8. And here, this telemark, I'm trying to be as small as possible and take up as little space as possible so I don't have to go around Desiree. So you can see I almost lift a little bit in my body to just take away some of that distance that I have to move and then land on the other side. Here, I don't even need this left hand. The prep is coming entirely from my right hand and my right elbow coming towards my rib cage. So that's that prep. We spin the followers out and then can reconnect for 13 and 14.
For followers, there's 3 things I really want you to keep in mind. One is to be really mindful of where your lead is coming from. Is it an open position lead with a hand hold here, or is it a closed position lead, as Matt just finished describing, where we're really being led from our shoulder blade in a body? Take a look at how this looks in the move. So we're first open hand hold position. Matt switched hands, but still open hand hold for me. He asked for my next hand where we connect for an open hand hold. He leads me there. Next, the lead is coming from that shoulder blade, not from the hand. He ducks me around, and from here on out, we're in a closed connection until either he uses this closed connection and he may choose to then reconnect with me at the end, reconnect with me at the end, right, like we demoed, and end up in an open hand hold position. So we started open, and then we stayed closed for quite a while, and we ended open. And it's really important for you to be able to re-engage, right, the connection points when you need them. The next thing we really want to talk about is that duck. Ducks can be intimidating, but they don't have to be. So when we come out of the spring, what you'll notice is that Matt is signaling, we try to reverse ourselves around here, signaling, right, that he wants me to duck through his right hand, and lifting up on that right shoulder blade. Now when I feel that, followers, I don't want to cower or cave or squat or bow my head and lose my balance. What I want to do, still re-engage there, Matt, is fill out that connection by kind of allowing my shoulders to round, really kind of poking out that right shoulder blade and pretending if my stomach were a balloon that my belly button has been popped in a pin and it is deflating. See how I don't need to bend my knees or really do anything with my head if I simply curl here and then deflate there. So that's what we want to do for that duck. That's something you can practice, followers, all on your own, a 2-step process that you can then streamline so it happens automatically. Final thing for followers is I want you to be really light on your feet. There's a lot of rotation that happens in this move. And the important thing here, after that spring, is that we keep our feet underneath us for 4 consecutive triple steps, concluding with our anchor. So don't be afraid, even when you're in that duck, to allow your feet to rotate underneath you. If you do that, you'll spin quickly through this move and it'll be a lot of fun.
Showing this whole thing one final time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, 9, and 10, 11, and 12, 13, and 14. That was your guide. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You can check us out online at risingtideswing.com. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter as Rising Tide Swing Dance Studio.
See you next week.